Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. I wanted to make a video building my watch list for Monday, March 27th, 2017. It's currently March 25th, 2017, about 7:54 in the morning. I'm an early bird, because of my job. I wish I could sleep, but I don't know. Got a lot going on. My job, my business, just a lot of things. So, wanted to make a video talking about HTGM, which was the monster play. I made about 5 grand on this stock, a little over $5,000. I know some people, members in the group, did more. Like they made, some people made 10 grand, some people made a couple of hundred. So congrats to everybody who took a trade on this and made some money. Now, I belong to the Bullish Bears team. If you're not familiar with our group, we have this Facebook community, Bullish Bears Stock Market Community. It's a private group. We started, when I entered the group, this group had probably maybe 30 members at the time. It's had almost 4,500 members. And every day there's like maybe 100 requests. This group is going to grow into the tens of thousands. And you're going to see that this group is going to be unlike any other group, honestly, in the stock market, because what we're looking to do over the next couple of years is going to be pretty monumental. And it's all going to be free, donation based. You can obviously drop a donation to help the guys that got to feed their families and stuff and keep maintaining the group, so we appreciate that. But we're going to get to a point where we're going to be so big that the sponsors are going to come and they're going to pay for the services that we're going to provide. And what we're gonna provide, what I have in store. I'm an instructional designer, about 18 years of experience, so I know adult education and where I want to help these guys go in terms of the education and how the format, the content, and how we're gonna provide is gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be free. It's gonna be worldwide. And my expectation is that this group is gonna be in the millions. To be honest with you, in the next 5 years. I know people think I'm crazy when I say it, but I would not be surprised if we have over 1 million members in the next couple of years. That's where I go, and it's gonna be create amazing. A university you're gonna be able to enroll in. You're gonna be able to take classes in. It's gonna be led by other members. It's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be all free, which is the best part about it. That's the goal. Anyway, let's say neither here or there. For now, small wins, right? So let's talk about what I said. So I'm gonna I'm gonna search for my quote, put my name up, and where am I? I know I put it, here I go. So look, just to see what's timestamp. This is me, right? Every morning I get up like 5 a.m. And I get ready to go to work. And what I try to do is I usually, I put a little watch list and I put a little notes and I send this out here on Facebook. I don't really do it on Twitter. I do mostly do it here. And this is what I said. I said, you can see that was 6:20. All right, it's currently March 25th, 2017. I said, what's up, everyone? Here is what I have on watch for today, 3/24/17. For some of you options traders who take a day trade, look at FLXN, because it had a monster day, so it has to pull back today for a nice trade. But I said HTGM will be the one stock everyone will be watching, right? Short sellers will be trying to drive the price down, but if it gets enough buying pressure, expect another big run today. We'll see. Because this was my expectation. Because remember yesterday when you watched my video building my watch list for Friday, I talked about flow, right? So let's go look at the chart, right? This is a stock that has a float of 8 million shares, meaning 8 million shares that are only available to be traded on the market. So when there's less shares available to trade, that means people are willing to pay more, right, to buy the stock because it's so limited in price. It's not like a Bank of America that has billions of shares available to trade. Well, because anytime you have a stock with 10 million shares or less, when it gets activity, it's going to drive the price of the stock up and down a lot faster because of the limited amount of shares that are available on the market. And because they had a big day Thursday and people are hungry for money, my expectation was that this was going to have another big day today, that short sellers were going to try to drive the stock down. So let me do the 5-day, 5-minute, just so you can see. Because what happened? On Thursday, right, it had this monster day, right? It opened at 301. It went all the way to 465. It came back down to 380. And then after hours, it went ridiculous, right? It went from like back to 3 all the way back up to 6, and it went crazy, or pre-market all the way up to the night, right? And I made my watch list video and I talked about it by it was all the way up to like close to like $7 at this point, right? So my expectation was this: when the market opened, when the market opened, my expectation was that um, was that the short sellers were gonna immediately try to drive the price of the stock down. So you got people taking short of, oh, this is a dog shit company. This company's being pumped. I'm gonna just size in and hold my position overnight so that when the market opens, this, I'm sized in heavy and I can just, drive the price of the stock down. Well, this is what happens. Well, other people, especially newbies, they don't really understand how, the stock market works. They're just seeing other people posted on Twitter, and they're just like, oh, HTGM looks like a good buy. And they just buy, not knowing that this is a pump. And the reason why it's gapping up so fast is because there's a tremendous amount of volume, right? And, it's just people just buying shit, but they don't really know what they're doing, So all those short sellers now, right, they're getting squeezed because let's say you take a short position, so you're borrowing shares from your broker, at like the $6 range where it was like in pre-market, right? So let me go back. Let's go back to pre-market. So let's say like towards the end of the night, right? It's like 6 p.m. So short sellers are buying shares to short the stock, right? So you're borrowing shares, and let's say they're borrowing somewhere in this $6 range, right? So the market opens and they think, oh, the stock is gonna go down, right? But what happens is the market opened and the stock immediately starts gapping up because buyers start buying. So what they do, they have to buy to cover, right? They have to buy, right? They have to buy to cover because they sold, meaning they borrowed shares from their broker, right, at a price. And now, since they borrowed the shares high and the stock is going higher, oh shit, now they owe their broker money, right? So if you borrow it at 6 and the stock is at 7, guess what? You just lost $1 for every share you bought. All right, so they're panicking, they're covering, and what that does, it immediately drives the price of the stock to go up, and that's what happened here. Now, because it's a low float and it's so volatile, these are very scary stocks to trade because the price goes up and down so fast. So you're like, damn, I don't know how to trade this, right? And you could look at the 5-minute, but because the price is going up and down so fast, it's kind of scary. So this is how I suggest you trade this. This is what I saw. So what I saw was when the market opened, I saw a little bit of selling pressure, and I know short sellers were like, oh yeah, this shit is gonna go down. And then it found its support here, and look what happens immediately. It turns to the oversold territory. Okay, you see the MACD starting to curl and the TTM squeeze starting to pop. They're like, oh shit, this shit is gonna move. So once it started gapping up, I watched this, and once it broke $7, because $7 is a psychological resistance barrier, I bought in. I jumped in with 1,000 shares. I didn't go too heavy because me personally, I'm scared to trade these, but they're cash cows. They're like ATMs, so you gotta at least try. Now, this is how I suggest you trade these, because remember what I said, when the candles are moving away from the EMA, this is the 9 EMA, this is the 20 EMA, and this is VWAP. Once it breaks away from the actual EMAs, you're not sure what the hell it's gonna do, right? You're looking for an entry. Once it gaps out this way, I'm like, shit, I don't know what it's gonna do. I'm gonna wait for it to pull back to get my entry. And you could have waited all the way to here and then rolled. And I'll talk about it, but there's another way to do this if you want. Because what if this goes up like this and then just completely collapses and you're like, you missed it? The other thing that I suggest is the trend line. The trend is your friend. So what I did, this is what I did. Immediately when I got in at 7, I put the trend line up. So I put a trend line going like this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to hold my position and I'm going to let it ride. So as long as it's in front of the candles, I'm going to stay in the stock because it's too far away from the EMAs. And if it pulls back, I don't know if it's going to pull back and then collapse. I don't know what it's going to do. Nobody knows, right? And I'm only using the 1-minute time frame on this. I'm not looking at the 5-minute. It's too volatile, okay? It's too volatile. Now, so at this point, I'm riding it up. I'm in at 7, like, wow, it's going up, right? I got my 1,000 shares. I'm up 1,000. And then I get to the 850 thing, and I see it kind of break 850, and I see it, kind of come down, and it's consolidated. Once it broke this and came to this candle, I got out, all right? And I got out at, like, I don't know, I got executed at, like, I don't know, I want to say, like, 8:30. It was, like, 8:30. So I made, like, like $1,300, right, on that first trade, right? So I'm like, okay, so it broke. So I got out, I'm out. So I'm watching it, though. I'm like, shit, you know, this thing is consolidating sideways. It looks like it's forming a flat top breakout. And what that is what you do is now you see that it's finding its new support level here. It's not breaking down, right? It's clean both on the 1 and the 5. So here, I'll just remove this. So what I did, and I was, and you know, I'm sorry guys, I was actually gonna post this little picture that I took yesterday and post on Facebook, but I'm at my desk trading, and I'm not, you know, I'm like doing, I'm not even supposed to be trading, so I'm like nervous, and so I couldn't do it. But what I was gonna post was this. What I basically did was I took the higher day candle at this point, right? And you see, you're forming like this pennant. So at this point, I'm watching it come down, and I'm like, you know, I'm watching it go this way, and I see that the support level's here. And what you notice is that when I started noticing, you know, it was about this candle where I started doing this, and I said, shit, this is gonna squeeze, it's gonna pop, either up or down. It looks like it's forming a flat top breakout pattern. So remember what I told you, traders, they only care about patterns. That's what they look at. They need something to identify. That's how they know to get in and out of trades. That's why it's important to understand patterns. So when I saw this, I'm like, shit, I think I'm gonna go. This is gonna continue to run. I think it's gonna break 10, maybe 11, $12. So what I did was I waited. So I watched it form that breakout, right? You can see it on the 5-minute. It's doing the same thing, right? It's pretty clean. But I'm looking at the 1 because of the volatility. And once I saw the MACD rolling up and I see the TTM squeeze pop, once I saw it pop, I was in. So once it broke $9, I waited till it actually broke $9. I was in. And what I did was I just put the trend line. I put the trend line. And what I did was I think I bought like 2,500 shares. I think it was 2,500, 3,000 shares. And I rode this. It went up from $9. I got in. And I rode this all the way up to about $11, and then when it came down here, I sold. Okay, so I sold when it came out here. So I brought in, I think it was 2,500 shares I took here, and then I rode this up. So I was at 9, and it went all the way to 11. I was like, shit, this is great. You know, it was up like over $2,500, and then it started to come down, and then to get executed, you know, I didn't use a stop loss, which I normally do. But because this is so volatile, it's going up and down so fast, I didn't want to miss out. So what I did was I have this thing set up so where I sell the bid. Sell the bid is almost like a stop loss. What it basically means is sell the bid would be, so this would be would be what people are asking, willing to pay you for the stock that you're trying to sell. This, if I could join the ask, well, right now it's open because the stock market is closed, but this would have said the ask. The ask is 960. But if you try to sell your stock at the ask, right, then other people ahead of you, it's gonna take more time maybe to get your shares sold. So I want to get out immediately. So I don't care because I'm up so much. All right, fuck it. I miss out on 20, I'd rather miss out on that than, you know, have it collapse because you don't know what it's gonna do. So I was out. I was out then, and I just put, you know, I had all my shares up, and I put sell the bid, and I got out, and I think I made like a little over $2,500 at that point. So I was up a total at that point, like, I think it was like, I don't know, I think it was up like a little over $3,000. And then I saw it, that was crazy, man. I saw it come back down, and I'm like, all right, maybe this is where it's gonna really pull back, because it broke this really fast and it came down. But look, it broke the 9, but it bounced off the 20 EMA and it started moving again. I saw it, like the TTM was popping, everything was popping. I was like, shit, you know what, I'm gonna take one more trade. And I bought like another, like, I think I took like a small position this time. I took like 500 shares, and I did it again. I just put a trend line. I got in right here at this candle. I waited till it broke 10. Once it broke 10, I was in, and it went all the way up to almost 1150. Once it broke here, I got out, and I made like another $1,000 on that. And what my total, I think, was like $5,200 when it was all said and done, you know. And then I had to go. Unfortunately, I had to continue to work, but I was out. And you know, it was a good day. That's how you trade a stock like this, guys. Because nobody really knows what it's gonna do, and because it's moving so fast and it's moving away from the EMAs. You don't know what to do, like when your entry should be. So you draw the trend line and you get in, and as long as it goes above the trend, you stay in. But once it breaks the trend, you immediately get out. And you could have did that pretty much all day long. That's how I trade these stocks. You could have did it the opposite way too, because If you see like it consolidates again, and then it has this little run here, you see it has this forms this little bull flag, forms a second bull flag, one more bull flag, and then the sell-off. Now what you could have did was once it was moving here, right? You see the trend forming this way, so you draw the trend right here, you know, and you say, all right, I'm gonna see as long as it doesn't break the trend, I'm good. And you could have took another trade on this and rolled this up, and then once it broke the trend here, you could have got out, or could have did the opposite. You could have said, you could have watched it and said, all right, I'm gonna wait for the next reversal. And once it reversed, now I do not recommend you short sell, you buy shares to short on a stock like this. A low flow with volume, you gotta be out of your mind. But let's say you are out of your mind and you wanted a short squeeze, you want to take a short position, you could have, as soon as it started selling off, you do the reverse. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna short this as long as it keeps going down. And you could have, you know, like let's say you see it going down in this candle, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy shares to short right in here, like 1250, and roll all this down to like 10. And once it started gapping up and broke the trend, you could have sold your position. Now that's another trade you could have took because there was a lot of selling pressure and it was overbought and the MACD was currently. But I would be too afraid to do it because I don't know, it's just too volatile, you know. But some people might have done that. And you see how the trend really works. All you have to do is buy, when these stocks move like this, they have trends, and you just trade the trends, you know. And then it kind of went along. Once it broke down, it kind of went sideways, and then, you know, at the end of the day, it just kind of sold off. It went back to 8, and it's up over 9. Now the other trade you could have took was the other trade that I talk about. I usually talk about 2 flags, and I talk about the VWAP trade. You could have just bought this, say, hey, if it goes above VWAP, I'm going to take the trade. And right when it broke VWAP, you could have sized in and said, hey, I'm just going to ride this all day and see how far it is above VWAP. And you could have just stood in this all day, all right? You could have got in somewhere. Let's say you got in around $6. You could have rolled this all day and say, hey, you know what? You could have got in at 6 and rolled VWAP all day, which is, I don't know why I didn't think about that, but you know, look at this. You could have been good. It didn't come back to VWAP till 10. So let's say you would have got in at like $6, $7. You know, let's say you would have got in over here somewhere at the 630, 640 range. Say, hey, you know what? I saw it just broke above VWAP. I'm gonna size in heavy and just see what it does. If it breaks below VWAP, I'll sell it. You know, I have my stop loss set at VWAP, and you know what? You would have made a killing using that strategy. You know, you would have made a killing because it didn't come back down and touch VWAP to about $10, $10.30. So you could have made, you know, like $4 a share, almost $4 a share. You know, using that strategy with VWAP as your stop, and then just watch VWAP, and then you just move your stop loss to just, you know, wherever VWAP goes, that's where you would move your stop loss. All right, just so you can like secure your money. You could have did that and made a killing. So that's another strategy. So you know, there were other, you know, so that's how you would trade this. Now, I've seen stocks do this before. Plum, ETRM. You know, you're gonna start noticing as you watch the market. And this is why whether you trade with money or not, just watch the market every day, because you study the patterns, you study the charts, and you get a sense of like how stocks move. Low float runners like this that have a lot of volume, they have 53 million shares traded. That's insane for a dog shit company. Remember, this company 5 days ago, right, was 195. If you look at the yearly chart of this company, all right, it's dog shit. Look at this. It's like in the $2 range. Look where it is now. It's ridiculous, all right? It's a pump, okay, guys? So what's going to happen is, this is what I think is going to happen, all right? I think Monday it's going to have another run. I think it's going to move one more day. I think we may have. Now, short sellers are going to look to drive the price of the stock down. But what I noticed when you look at the history of Plum, I remember I think it was Plum and ETRM. I think it was Plum. Let's see. When Plum, let me look at the yearly. Let me look at. I don't know if it was Plum. Maybe it was ETRM. Yeah, this was the stock that it went ridiculous. It had this move where, look at this. See? I remembered that. I just remembered it because I remembered this happened. This was one of those low float runners that it got some news, and for like over the next, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it went from 175 all the way up to $31 before it collapsed. And this stock, HTRM, is acting exactly like ETRM. And I'm sorry, HTGM is acting like ETRM. And I think Monday, this is gonna be volatile again. And what you wanna do then Monday is You could take two types of positions on this Monday. You could do exactly what I said, where you're gonna watch it at the open. Me too, I ain't doing shit now. This is dog shit. But you can take two types of trades. So on Monday, we'll see what happens. Right now it's below VWAP. It's at 959. But Monday, you can either take two. You can do what I did was with the trend lines. You just take the trade and you ride the trend, using your trend as your friend, and make the trade. Or because it's gonna be volatile. If it gets a lot of vol, it's gonna move like it did today. Or you could just look at Monday and say, hey, once it goes above VWAP, I'm going to make the trade and I'm going to use VWAP as my stop loss and ride VWAP all day long and see where it goes. You can do either or, all right? So that's what I think is going to happen Monday. I think we're going to have another crazy day where this thing is going to rip. But I could be wrong. Maybe it just completely collapses and dies and nobody pays attention to it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that people are going to be looking to trade this on Monday. Short sellers are going to be trying to drive the price down, and if they can't, but if they get too much buying pressure, they're going to have to cover their position, and they're going to get squeezed out. And these are all short squeezes, you know, and that's what's driving the price of the stock up. So that's what I expect to happen Monday. Now, so let's build our watch list for Monday. So I'm going to come here. I am going to go to create watch list. I am going to put my name, Dr. Trade 3/26/17, and I'm going to hit save. All right, and what we're going to do is we are going to build our watch list. So with that said, all right, now what we do is we go to scan, and I always do the same criteria. We look for stocks between 20 cents and $30 that are 500,000 shares, no max, that are up 5%, no max. So when I hit scan, we get about 41 plays. So that's already listed here, those 41 plays, all right? So I go back to charts, and we're just going to go through the charts. Make sure your links are there so the chart appears. And the biggest percentage chainer was MAAFF, a clear dog shit pump. But this shit is up 33,200, 32,042%. That is insane. Let's see what the stock did. MAAFF. So look at this shit. This thing was at 37 cents. Or was it 3 cents? And it went from 3 cents. What is it? 2 days, 1 minute? Yeah, this thing went from 3 cents to 9 cents. This is a pump. This is garbage. I don't know why I'm looking at this. MTGM, obviously that's going to be the #1 play for Monday too. That's going to be on everybody's radar Monday to see what it does. So again, we're going to watch that. Use what I taught you about the trend lines and VWAP as your entry and exit. Okay, GBR was at 102, and this thing went to $2. It went up $1. 1.9 million shares traded. It's choppy. You know, it didn't really have volume towards that run up to $2, and you see, look at that. So let's say you're watching this move for whatever reason, it pops up on your scan and you're watching it and you catch it here. This is why you know why it's a good entry, because you start getting the volume push, right? So that volume pulls up, you get the bull flag, right? Here's the pullback, people taking their shares. Once it bounces off the 90 EMA like this, you get that rip, the pullback. You're gonna get that second push, and right here you just get in and just ride this up, and you could have rolled this all the way up to. Guess what happened? $2. It sold off. Why? Because $2 is a psychological resistance barrier, and people use that to sell their shares, and it just kind of just then collapsed and sold off. You could have took a quick trade on this. You know, it bounced back down to 150 and sideways. I mean, I'm not looking to trade this Monday. Maybe it has another move. Looks like it was pumped, or maybe some news came out. Next up, XTAF. Nope. ZAIS. No, it was at 4. It's down at 2. Could have been a great short. COGT. Nope. Even though it's holding ties, it's extraordinarily choppy. It was at 335, it's at 450, and it is holding its highs above VWAP. Maybe you're looking at this for a swing trade. You know, it has this U-shaped pattern, which is a very bullish sign. If you look at the yearly, I mean, the stock was at $6 at its max. You know, maybe it's something you may want to look at as a swing. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list though for a day trade, even though it didn't go from 340 to 440. Well, it's a whole dollar. WPRT, WPRT. 1.8 million shares, up 18%. You know, very choppy. It's up though to 105. I mean, this was at 82 cents 5 days ago. You know, choppy. Not sure. You know, I'll put it on the watch list. Maybe you see what it's gonna do Monday. WPRT. Maybe, you know, it's probably gonna maybe not do nothing, but it's cheap, and it looks like it was at 295, and it hit its bottom here at 380 at 82 cents. So that seems to be its new support level. Now it seems to be moving again. See, check it out. Take a look at it on the yearly. I mean, look, it broke its oversold territory. and it's starting to gap up, and the MACD's curling and the TTM squeeze up. So maybe it continues up slowly Monday. You can take a short position using VWAP as your stop. See what happens Monday. This is how you could grow your account, because let's say you have $5,000 in your account and the stock does have volume when it opens. You say, hey, if it's above VWAP, I'm gonna use VWAP as my stop, and I'm gonna go in like 2,000 shares, 3,000 shares. If you get 20 cents, hey, that's I'm terrible at math. So let's say you take 3,000 shares and you make 20 cents. You just made yourself $600. And it's a simple easy trade because it moves slowly. So it's one of those things you could think about. All right, let's keep moving on. CGIX, very, very choppy. 1.8 million shares, opened at 330. Yeah, and it gapped up all the way 395. It's too choppy though. I mean, it's a choppy stock. Like, this is not something. So remember, when it's choppy like this, and you're not sure what to do, you can use VWAP as your entry. If you catch it, like right when it breaks VWAP, you could have used VWAP as your entry and just watched it roll up, or you use a different time frame. So just to get a clear entry, you see how it's a lot easier to see what the candlesticks are doing on a 15-minute time frame as opposed to a 1-minute time frame, because it's choppy. So you could do that. You could have used a different time frame to get a sense, and you see how it just rides above the 9 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. And you could have continued to do that if that's what you want to do. It really depends on what you want to do, and if you want to look at the yearly, all right, the stock is way above its yearly price. I mean, it's way above it right now. It looked like 340 was the previous high. It's at 395. It had 3 green days, so this may be a great short come Monday, maybe, because you expect 3 green days, you expect, it's going to pull back, but who knows? I'm not going to put on my watch list, but I like talking about these kinds of things just to give you more feedback and info. You know what? Let's just put it. Who cares? Put it on the watch list. You can just watch it. It doesn't mean you're going to trade it, right? All right, and we only got 40 stocks, so it's not going to be a lot of plays on our watch list. Let's keep moving. Next up, MARA. MARA, nope. Nothing there. 4,500,000 shares traded. Graham went from 230, it's at 259, it's above VWAP. But it's not, it's not very liquid. It's only 600,000 shares, so I'm not looking at that. You can look at it though if you want to swing trade it. Maybe you may want to swing it. MZOR, nice. Look at this. No, nice move from 23 to freaking 29. I mean, this thing is ripping, but it doesn't have no volume. But I'm gonna put it on the watch list in the event, like some of the options traders on the group may want to take your options trade on it. Or, you're looking maybe for a long-term investment. Maybe the stock is going to continue to move. See what it's at the yearly. It's way above its yearly. Wow, it was 25. This thing is continued up. Maybe it has more to go. I mean, on the yearly, look at the MACD. It's above the it's bullish. I mean, it's in the oversold, overbought territory. And with the TTM squeeze, you know what? I'll leave it on the watch list. Maybe you may want to buy a swing, do some more research. See what the stock history is, the company history is. All right, so move on. BCOR. This is not a lot of volume either, but this thing went like this was a 785. Now it's at 930. Bounced off VWAP, and it looks like it's continuing upward. I mean, you may want to look at it. It may not do anything. So if you're looking at this, maybe because you want to take some shares and just put it in this company and see what it does. It's not very liquid. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you may want to look at it. QUIK was at 151. It's up, pushing that $2. Hit a high of $2 in the after hours. It's 1.9 million shares traded. It's choppy. It's not very, it's not easy to identify because there's not a ton of volume. But on the 5-minute, you get a nice clear entry. Look at this. It never broke below the 13 EMA, which is what I use on the 5-minute chart. And right now it's at $2. So I'll put it on the watch list. Maybe you may want to look at it one day. But because of the way that I wouldn't look at this on the 1-minute, I would look at it on a 5-minute if I'm going to make a trade. All right. I'm not in love with any of these stocks. I'm really just looking at HTRGM Monday, to be quite honest with you, so far. RGLS. Nope, nothing. MVIS was at 218. Yeah, this stock, man, keeps moving, man. This stock keeps moving. It's at, hit its high at 275. It seems to be in this range where it comes down to about like to 210, 220 mark, and then it kind of gaps up. It's just been doing that. Let's look at it over the last year. You know, it says 105. It's slowly been grinding. You know, it just continues to go up. It had its run to 275. It had 3 red days. It bounced back to 318, and now it's like, you know, moving again. Um, you know, it had this ridiculous move up, and look at this. It formed this flag pattern. You know, and it got this little squeeze in the after hours. We'll see what happens Monday. I mean, you may want to look at it. You know, if I go back 2-day 1 minute chart. I mean, it's very choppy. It didn't do anything. I mean, you could put on your watch list. I'm not, but it seems to have movement. All right, CATB was 125. Hit a high of 170 after hours. 1.7 million shares traded, but even on the 5 minute chart, it's not a lot of volume. It's only volume in certain points of the day. It's probably not a lot of trades. I'm not putting on the watch list. XPHS, nope. CBay, when this moves, this moves. There's another pump. When it moves, but no volume. Doesn't look too good. Not more than watch this. VSAM, no way. CYH now, yeah, CYH, look at this. 6 million shares traded. I like it, you know, because it's more liquid. It opened up at 871. It's had a high of 965. It was 802 3 days ago. This is a stock that I like. It has volume. It's holding its highs. You know, it's holding its highs, and it's oh, what is it? Did I put the wrong? Oh, CHY. Oops, sorry guys. CH. All right, CHY. CHY. There we go. All right, there we go. What? Wait a minute. CYH. Oh my God, I'm sorry guys. CYH. Sorry about that. So, yeah, look at this. This thing moved in the open. You could look at that. It gapped up, had that bull flag, and people noticed that, and the thing just ripped. Look at that. Went all the way up over $9 before it pulled back, and it found its new support level. You know, it's nice trade. You know, you could have took this nice. So remember, if you get in, you got to put that trend line. See how it. As long as it doesn't break the trend, you know. So if I saw this, the only entry for me on this stock would have been once it pulled back, I would have got in right here as I saw it ready to break. But the real way to trade this is you gotta wait till it breaks higher day. That gives you a clean entry. So this is resistance at this level. Once it broke this, you could have took this up all the way to $9. But you know that's what a lot of people do to get a clear entry. But you know it kind of went sideways, and it's kind of gapped up all day, and you know rolled along the 9 EMA. So yeah, you know I'll look at it Monday, see what it does. All right, next up, FT Frontier. You know what? I took a trade on this. All right, I didn't talk about this. So I took a trade on this because I'm trying to like mess around with swing trading. I still don't have a strategy yet, but you know, but what made me do it was that it was so in this. If you notice, well, when I saw it, the MACD was starting to curl a little more, and I saw that it was in this oversold territory, and it was starting to get some volume, and and then I saw it break above VWAP, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a swing trade on this. I think this thing is gonna move today. So when I saw it like right here around 194, so I used the VWAP, which was 190, which was 194. I'm sorry, I saw this about 190 at 196. I think I got in, like right in here. I got in, and I saw it like it broke above the 90 MA, and it was just so close to VWAP. I said, you know what? Why not? I thought I took 10,000 share position on this, right? And I was like, but I only took 100 share position. I didn't realize after the fact because I saw it. I didn't watch it. I was busy trading HTGM, which I never do. I never take like 2 trades, but I did. So I took 2 trades, and I took this trade, and and I watched it. And I was like, oh great, this thing's above $2. I didn't even pay attention to it. I'm like, shit, all right, great. I bought 10,000 shares at 195. It's up to 2,000. It's all right. I'm up $500. This is fantastic. And I saw it come down, but it broke above VWAP. I'm like, this is great. And then I saw it continue to move. So I saw it all the way continue to go up to 292, hit a high of like I think of like almost 210, 211 at some point in the day. I was like, great, I'm up 1,000. When I went to check, I was only up like like $10 or something. I was like, what? And then I realized I only took 100 share position. So yeah, it would have been a nice trade, but I'm in this still. I'm holding this over the weekend. I don't think it's gonna do anything. I don't know if it's gonna continue to go upward. You know, I just thought it was gonna have a good day, and it did. I was right. My thesis was right. You know, it went up because it was it's so over. It's cheap. That's, you know, people bought it because it's cheap. I don't know what it's gonna do Monday. I mean, it theoretically, you know, it did hold its highs. You know what? I'm gonna put on the watch list. Maybe you may want to look to swing it or short it. I'm not sure. Um, you know, so choppy. You know, so if you look at this, this is like a long term position. I don't know if it's worth holding though. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list because if you want to trade it. But it's not a stock that normally you would day trade because it's so slow moving. You want to make your money faster. All right, next up, Gevo, GEVO, and this thing was that, yeah, Gevo is a stock that when it moves, it has, when it has news, it moves nicely. It went up to 118, it came back down. I'm not watching this. THC, yeah, this is a, you know, more expensive stock, but wow, it was $15 4 days ago. It's at 1856, 7 million shares traded. It would have been a nice trade today. I mean yesterday. Look at this. Once it broke above VWAP, so you kind of like not sure what it's gonna do because it's like kind of sideways. So along the 13 EMA breaks below it. So, you know, you could have took a short here really quickly and made some money. And once it bounced above VWAP, that could have been your entry. Remember I talked about using VWAP as your entry? Clear break over VWAP and it just continued to move. All right, and you know, could have made some good money. We'll put it on the watch list because maybe you may want to trade this. What is it? THC. That's the name of the stock. All right, so THC. Next up, HK. HK was at 646. It's up to 693. You know, it's more like a, you know, you take the trade above VWAP as your entry and just ride all this up. You know, continue to go because it's choppy. You're not really sure how to trade this. Like you don't know how to trade this on a 1 minute chart for a quick day trade. You know, so chops. Remember, stocks that are choppy like this, but you see they have movement and they have volume. You're like, I don't know how to get it. Look how choppy this is. Well, you look at the 5 minute time frame. Or again, you look at the 15 minute time frame. If you're interested in making a trade, you know, and if you look at it on the 15 minute time frame, you see how it's just, you know, above VWAP, and it just, once it broke above VWAP, you know, clearly moves above VWAP. You could have took the entry and just rolled it up. You know, if that's what you're interested in doing on the 5 minute time frame, you know, you could have got it somewhere over here, just rolled it up. It is holding its highs. I don't particularly love it, but you know, you could watch it just to see what it's gonna do because over the, you know, this is 5 days with a 759 and it's in this, you know, seems to have found support here, so maybe it continues upwards slowly. So you know what, I'll put it on there for you guys, just so you guys can watch it. I don't love anything other than HTGM for Monday to watch at least. That'll be my number one watch, unless some news comes out from another company Monday morning. TRXC, nope. BLPH, nope. ECR, look at this. It was at 203. Nice run. See, this is why I like the stocks that just go in the channel, you know? You know, you're watching that channel and you're watching it ride, you know, trade in that channel while it continues to gap up. But the problem is with this stock is that it doesn't have a lot of volume. So, but it was at 203, it's at 238. I don't know, you can look at it at the yearly. And, you know, it was high at 442. It has 2 green days. This seems to be its support level. You know, has some resistance here, 250. I don't know. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you may want to swing it. May want to, you know, may want to look at to see maybe worth a swing. You know, again, you can just look at the yearly, and then always check to see the simple moving average, where the 50-day and the 200-day simple moving average is to see where it is. Look, it looks like it's ready to, you know, break above. The MACD looks like it's curling, and the TTM squeeze is stepping down where it's going to get green. So maybe it gets more traction. You know what? I'll put it on there for you guys, just so you guys can, you know, do more research. It's worth maybe at least just seeing what it's going to do. It doesn't have volume though, so I would think about this more as a day, like you're holding it the whole day sort of thing, or using VWAP as your entry, and then just riding it, see where it goes. Okay. NWBO, hell no. TDOC, look at this, 1.2 million shares. This was $22 5 days ago. It's $25, and it did have this nice move up. I mean, you know, it's choppy. Again, you know, if you're looking at the stock, it's choppy. You not know how to. So I'm not looking at this on a 1 minute time frame. It's too choppy. I'm gonna look at it at a 5 minute time frame, at a minimum, maybe a 15 minute. And once it broke, so you like, you know, you could have rolled this up for a quick profit. Again, you could have rolled this up. So remember, once you go in, you just put that trend line. As long as it follows the trend, you're in. Once it breaks the trend, you're out. You know, that's how you would trade this. And then once it broke above VWAP, that could have been your entry. And you know, you could have just, if you wanted to, you could have just put that trend line here and just watch it ride the trend. As long as it rides the trend, you win. Once it breaks the trend, you could have sold off. You know, but it continues to gap up. Doesn't have, it's 1.2 million shares. I know it's a more expensive stock, but it might be good for some of you other traders who can afford this or who are, options traders. So next up, PLUG, EROS, no volume. FUEL, Fuel's been running, man. It was at 393, hit a high. It was on my watch list for Friday's watch list. It gapped up, but look at it. It had formed this nice head and shoulders pattern, and then it just kind of sold up. It would have been a beautiful short. But you see how it broke below VWAP. But you know what? Maybe Monday it continues to move up because it's been moving up. And it does have a partnership with IBM. I mean, this thing, it's just been moving. I'm gonna put on there. Maybe this is a long-term swing trade. I would say, guys in the group that are much better at this than I am. If you watch this video, look at it. Tell me what you guys think of it. Maybe it's a great potential long-term trade. Look at this, man. When did it form that partnership with IBM? On March 21st, Rocket Fuel expressed partnership with IBM by embedding Watson cognitive capabilities to its whatever. So you know what? Look at it. And then if you want, you could go to this analyze thing. And look, Credit Suite says it's outperforming. Some people say hold. This guy on the street says sell. This market here says long. So, some of the big analysts are juicing the cropping up. So maybe it's worth a potential long-term trade. I may throw some money in this and see what it does. We'll see. All right, next up, EBIO. EBIO, when it has news, it moves. And it had a little move pre-market, and it had a little gap up, and then it kind of sold off. So I'm not putting it on my watch list, but you can. OCLR, now this is nice, 940. A lot of volume, moves up. Now this is something, and bounced off VWAP. This is something that, I would, if you're looking at this, once it broke above the VWAP, you could have took this and rolled that 9 EMA, and, just put that trend line there, guys. Boom, once you're in, as long as it rides the trend, you're in. And once it breaks the trend, you could have sold or sold a small position and see, see what it's going to do. Look, and it continued upward. It pulled back just a little bit and continued to move, And again, let's say you decide at this moment to get in, because it's above the 9 EMA, you got the TTM squeeze, you got the MACD rolling. And if you decide to get in, because you're watching it, and you see the second move, just say, hey, you know what? I'm putting a trend line. As long as it doesn't break that trend, I'm in. And you could have rolled this up from, like, let's say you would have got it somewhere around here, 10.12. You could have rolled this up to about 10.24, and then, then it pulled back. So that's how you kind of, you get in, you follow the trends when it's like that. Then you could look at it on the 5-minute, it would have been the same sort of thing, because it's like a slow mover. It's like these are slow grinders, But it looks good. It looks good because it had this pullback towards the end of the day. Had a nice pullback. People took profit here, but then it shortly goes below that, but it continues upward. So you know what? It might be good Monday. So this is a stock, OCLR, which I would be looking at Monday to see what it's going to do. HTGM seems like my number one stock to watch Monday, followed by OCLR. Fuel, maybe looking at for a swing, a long-term trade. See what happens. Maybe it pulls back. If it pulls back, maybe I'll enter a pullback. Who knows? EVRI, nope. SUPN, wow, look at this. This was at 27, now it's at $30. No volume though, but this thing is moving. It's moving. So maybe maybe you want to take a potential options trade on it. There is options here you can look at if you want to options trade it. Take the chart out, take a look at it. I'll put it on the watch list just for you guys who trade some of these bigger price stocks. There may be an opportunity. To me, it would be a good shorting opportunity. It's so overextended, but who knows, right? But there's no volume, so 700,000 shares. MPTN. Look at this. This thing ripped. It went from 850 to 948. But damn, 1.3 million shares, not super liquid. But look at that. It went above the 9 EMA. You could have just rolled this up if you took a position. You got the TTM squeeze, the MACD. Everything is pointing towards a bullish sign on the 5-minute too. If you're not sure, you could have watched this and did what I said. Like, let's say you would have got in and put that trend line, watch it go, as long as it's going above the trend, as long as it doesn't break the trend, you're in. Or or you could have did the other strategy that I talk about, which is because it's not a lot of volume and you're not sure, but it's moving. You could say, okay, the first candle to make a new high over the previous 5-minute candle is my entry. So this could have been your entry, right? Because a new 5-minute candle. This could have been your entry right here, 911. So your first entry could have been at 896. Second entry could have been 911. Your third entry could have been 926. But you see it pulls back. So it has this bull flag, has a slight pullback, and then it continues gapping upward. So 924 could have been your next entry. Then 930 could have been your next entry. Then 937 could have been your entry. You see it has a slight pullback. So it had the first pullback here. It's sideways. It's sort of a pullback. And then it hits its high, and then it comes down. So remember, it's gonna pull back at some point. So you don't want to get in too high where you get caught, on the pullback. You gotta be careful. But those could have been all your entries. It's a cleaner look on the 5-minute chart. All right. And if you would have got in, remember, let's say you would have got in here. Remember, trend line. Trend line. As long as it goes, as long as it's riding along the trend, you're good. Once it breaks that trend, that's when you sell. It's that simple, guys. XTKX, this is another stock. Skechers was at 26, is at 28 down. It looks like it's continuing to move. I'm gonna put on the watch list. It's holding the ties. Now, again, this is pricey stocks. We want to trade stocks that are cheap. So you can get size in more, make more money. SALT, nah. BSMX, 4 million shares. Wow, it's 812, 840, nice move all day. Just rolled the 9 EMA. If you wanted a cleaner entry, you could look at that 5-minute because maybe this is too choppy for you. But if you would have got it on that 5-minute, once it broke VWAP, because it's slowly grinding up. Look at that, it never broke below the 13 EMA. And look, you can just ride the trend all day long. As long as it doesn't break the trend, you stay in. You see? And you could have been good. Just say, hey, as long as it doesn't break the trend, I'm in the stock. And you could have rode it all day long. That's how you do it. All right. And last up, at least see next. Oh, BTMs. What am I gonna put this on the watch? Yeah, 4 million shares, and it's holding its highs. Yeah, it's a slow move up, but I'll put it on there. This is BM. All right. So there you go. And last is CNAT. CNAT went up to move. It was at 432 4 days ago, or 2 days ago. Slowly grind up. 500,000 shares though. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. Not a lot of volume. So that's the watch list for Monday, guys. So we got. Let's look at our plays. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stocks. Now, honestly though, out of those 15, the ones that I'm gonna be paid, the number one stock I'm gonna be paying attention to is HTGM, which is everybody's gonna be paying attention to. But do your research. Maybe there's potential plays in these. We'll see what happens one day. Remember, this could be a watch list. Doesn't mean this is what you're gonna trade one day, right? One day, a news earning could come out. Some new catalyst could come out for a new stock that will be the number one stock to play. So, and again, if you don't see nothing moving and these are all duds, remember you have your scanners that I helped you guys create, right? So, that's how you find your plays. Okay, so with that, folks, I hope you found this informational. See you guys in the group. All right, remember, I'm here on Facebook. Okay, this is our community here, Stock Market Bullish Bears. And on YouTube, we have a channel. Okay, so you go to the channel. I'm going to load this, but our channel here this is where I loaded on my own. This is my own channel. I basically load the videos on this channel, and then they post it on the Bullish Bears site. But if you type Bullish Bears, okay, here we go, Stock Market Community. And again, this is where you can find all your videos. All right, you have tons and tons of videos. All right, about all types of trades. Like this is one of the founding members, Tim Davis. He's the reason why I even joined the group. An amazing human being, amazing at technical analysis, amazing options trader, and he puts out this great content on like how to read Ichimoku crowds and doing technical analysis on all these different charts. And then you'll see a lot of my stuff. But if you go straight to like playlists, it's kind of like broken down by more stuff. So you have an options trading course that's free. All right, I'm gonna take it at some point because I suck at options. I don't really know it well. But all these different things, using Thinkorswim, swing trading. I gotta watch this because I need a swing trading strategy. Shorting, how short stop. Building Thinkorswim's watch list. Scanners. This is the one I have. This is my course. All right, I actually have a course on the Bullish Bears website that you can about day trading from end to end. You can watch all your stuff there. So that's what I wanted to call out. So, folks, hope to see you guys, ask questions, and I hope you guys join the group. All right, have a great, fantastic weekend.